Well, Ukraine has run out of men to die in NATO's war, and now it's turning to women and younger boys to fill the ranks. That's right. We'll get to that part of the story in a second. You can see this headline here, Ukrainian women to be conscripted as the country faces Russian forces. So put a pin in that. We'll come back to it in a second. Meanwhile, tens of thousands of Ukrainian men have died in NATO's war because they don't care about Ukraine and they don't care about the men that are dying in Ukraine. Instead, Ukraine is getting so desperate now, they're calling in women to fight. Now, we warned you about this a few weeks ago, but now it's happened. October 1st came. Now the new conscription law in place as of October 1st. Ukraine has passed a new law on military registration of all women conscripts. It's now enforced as of the 1st of October. So they are ready to go. And the obligation applies to all Ukrainian women between the ages of 18 and 60. So the girls who've been partying at those Kiev nightclubs, you've seen all the videos of these girls partying and everyone's wondering, like, Friday, though, something happened in Ukraine which got little fanfare in the West, almost no coverage of it whatsoever. The Western media was focused on the government shutdown and Trump indictments, of course, and largely ignored the story. The Associated Press, though, covered it because the AP, of course, is an extension of the military-industrial complex. Here was the headline. Ukraine hosts a defense industry forum seeking to ramp up weapons production for the war. So diving into this, Ukrainian President Zelensky held a meeting in Ukraine with 250 defense industry corporations from 30 different countries. You better get in while the getting's good. This is like, it's like going to Vegas, you know? It's like, so open up, baby. The floodgates of money are ready to rain down upon you. And Zelensky even tweeted the same thing. Here's his tweet. We held the first defense industry forum in Ukraine, gathering 252 leading defense companies from over 30 countries, North America, Australia, and Asia. Right now, the most powerful military-industrial complexes are being determined. So, you know, when we use the, I don't know if he understands this, but like when we use the term military-industrial complex,
it's a negative thing.
It's a pejorative. Yes.
Yeah, it's got a negative connotation.
But he's like, we're building the strongest military-industrial complex.
That's the world we don't want, guy.
Yeah, maybe you don't want that, but he's like all in on it. Of course, he's right. I mean, he's not pulling any punches on this. The military-industrial complex wants nothing more than to turn Ukraine into a giant arms factory. That's exactly what they want. Paid for with your tax dollars, not just in the United States, of course, but in the UK, in Germany, in Canada. So the mainstream media in the U.S. is totally on board with this, as you can imagine. Here's the Wall Street Journal's amazing piece of journalism in support of the military-industrial complex. They titled this piece, In Defense of the Defense Industry. And basically the crux of the article is that we should all be on board with these guys because these guys are keeping you safe. These guys, if we didn't have the Raytheons, the Northrop Grummons, and building all of these weapons and all of these aircraft and all of that Putin would literally be invading you. Those were his words, literally in the article. Of course, no one stands to make more money in this boondoggle than BlackRock, and BlackRock owns huge stakes in Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Boeing, General Dynamics, Northrop Grumman. Isn't it amazing? I mean, they literally own all of these companies. These firms are the top recipients of Pentagon funds. As William Hartung reports, the weapons companies supported by BlackRock are also on the leading edge of the Pentagon's dangerous and unnecessary $1.2 trillion nuclear weapons buildup, which aims to create a new generation of nuclear bombers. You see, BlackRock makes money on the weapons, right? And they make money on the rebuilding. Basically, BlackRock destroys Ukraine and then also rebuilds Ukraine. That's a hell of a business model. How'd they get their hands in that? So they're making money on the front end, destroying Ukraine, and then they're making money on the back end, rebuilding it.
That's a double dipper.
I mean, talk about it. Wake up, people. I mean, seriously, wake up. Of course, BlackRock then owns all of the media as well. So in this scenario where they're destroying Ukraine and then rebuilding Ukraine, the media is complicit. It's supporting all of this. And all you need to do is turn on your corporate press to see it. I mean, here's Aaron Burnett, basically CNN anchors reminding you why it's good for BlackRock to make a lot of money from war because they're American companies. It is a clown world, Daniel. You're right. BlackRock famously bought millions more shares of Fox News back in January. And then, of course, A few weeks later, Tucker Carlson was fired after he ran this report on BlackRock.